giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom News Leaders.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mediacom News Leaders. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Carol Kelly. Joining us today, a rock star volunteer for the Alzheimer's Association of East Central Iowa, Amanda Pins. Amanda, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So like many nonprofit organizations, the Alzheimer's Association really depends on volunteers like you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So my mom was in her younger 50s when she started showing memory issues. And then she continued. We didn't get a diagnosis until she was about 58, that it was younger onset Alzheimer's. She ended up, some people that have Alzheimer's have seizures, and unfortunately she's one of those handful that did. And so her last 3 years, she didn't walk, talk, or feed herself, so it was a long journey. And she passed away when she was 65. But my family wanted to raise awareness and raise funds, so we got involved with the Alzheimer's Association first by just attending one of the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and then the very next year my sister and I joined the committee.
And so tell us a little bit about how you, and it's your whole family that
Yes.
gets involved.
Yeah.
Tell us some of the things that you do to advocate and support.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. So my little girls, I've got 3 little girls, and they go door to door raising funds, and they have their little spiel that they do whether live on when they're knocking on the door or on Facebook. They love to do videos on Facebook and share their story. One of the cutest was my little. She was probably when she was only 5. They took turns. Each one got to do one door, and so it was her turn. And the lady said, "I've already donated." And Jules is like, "But you didn't give me any money." Like she already had her own team. Jules wasn't going to get off the step until she got some money. So they're good little fundraisers. And they each raise about $1,000 each year. So they've done really good.
Amazing. Tell us about, so for someone that wants to volunteer and they just aren't sure they can find that extra time, tell us what your response would be to that.
Yeah. So the Alzheimer's Association is really neat because they have lots of different opportunities. We have our first signature event, which is the Walk to End Alzheimer's, that we just meet once a month throughout the year to get set up for that walk that takes place in the fall. Then we also have the longest day, which is really neat because you can do any event that you want, as simple as a lemonade stand to as big as there were some sisters up in Decorah that did an amazing event that raised $36,000 last year. I do a Bikes Behind Brains. In June was our 4th annual event, and in the past 4 years we've raised over $25,000. So you can go as big or as small as you like, but just get out there, raise awareness so people know that there is the association that helps people with Alzheimer's, but any type of dementia. And they have support groups and raise funds for research, and it's just a really neat avenue for our community to have.
Let's talk about the type of person that would be a good volunteer for the organization.
So highly motivated and passionate to raise awareness. I think once somebody starts talking about it, there are so many people out there that either want support or want to share their story or just have that camaraderie that there's other people out there going through the same journey as they're going through.
And let's talk about that too, a little bit about how you use your story to kind of share and advocate for the organization.
Yeah, so I think just putting it out there, saying that, you know, what my mom had gone through, and we were really public on social media through her whole journey, that we visited her every day, that we took her to church, that we made the best of every day. And I think letting people know that you can live well with dementia and that it's not, it's not all sad. We can make the best of it. You can bring joy to the situation, bring a smile to their face. So even that 3 years when Mom wasn't talking, we still brought a smile to her face every day by visiting and reading to her and playing music. There's just so much that we can do.
Can we talk about the role of the Alzheimer's Association in your story? Because you hadn't been around it, you didn't know about it, it's something new to your family.
Yeah, so it's just really neat. So my personal experience with the Alzheimer's Association has been my advocating side and my volunteering side. Mom was kind of too far down in the journey, but I wish that I would have had their resources earlier. You know, I would have known more. We would have done support groups, and I think Mom could have been a more vocal advocate for herself earlier on had I known more. So as soon as you know that there's something going on, reach out to a provider and get a diagnosis and reach out to the Alzheimer's Association for that support.
So tell us again too, the different ways that someone can volunteer, if it's just for an event or if it is year-round.
Yep, so year-round we have the walk, we have the longest day where you pick any event that you want. We have the day at the Hill that you can go advocate on the day on the Hill. So just contact the Alzheimer's Association and we can get you hooked up with a volunteer spot that's perfect for you.
And it's all about volunteers like you, just sharing the message and raising great funds for the organization. We always appreciate your time. Amanda, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
This has been Mediacom News Leaders, your opportunity to get the full story from the most reliable sources exclusively on Mediacom News Leaders.